What if I told you you don't need a backyard, farmland, or even sunlight outside to grow your own food? Most people think growing vegetables means space, stress, and a lot of work. But the truth is, some of the easiest, fastest growing foods can be grown right inside your home, even if all you have is a small room or a window. And with food prices constantly rising, learning how to grow your own vegetables indoors isn't just convenient. It can actually save you money while giving you fresh, chemical-free food anytime you want. In this video on primal gardening, we're going to show you 7 vegetables you can grow indoors with no garden needed. Simple, practical crops that don't require much space, expensive tools, or years of experience. These are vegetables you can grow in containers, small pots, or even recycled materials, and some of them are ready to harvest faster than you might expect. Whether you live in an apartment, a small house, or just don't have access to outdoor space, this is how you take control of your food in the easiest way possible. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to grow, how to get started, and how to turn even a small indoor space into something productive. Because once you realize how easy this is, you'll never look at your empty space the same way again. Plant number 1, green onions. Green onions are one of the easiest vegetables you can grow indoors, and they're perfect for beginners because they don't even require soil to get started. You can take the white root ends from store-bought green onions, place them in a small container of water, and within days, you'll start seeing fresh green shoots growing again. This makes them one of the fastest ways to experience success with indoor gardening, especially if you've never grown anything before. What makes green onions especially valuable is how quickly they regenerate. Instead of constantly buying new ones, you can keep regrowing the same set multiple times with minimal effort. This not only saves money, but also ensures you always have fresh greens available for cooking. Over time, this small habit can make a noticeable difference, especially if you use green onions regularly in your meals. Another advantage is that green onions don't require a lot of space or special lighting. A simple windowsill with moderate sunlight is enough to keep them growing. Even if your lighting conditions aren't perfect, they can still survive and continue producing, which makes them extremely forgiving compared to other crops. This flexibility is what makes them ideal for indoor environments. Over time, green onions become more than just a plant. They become a constant, renewable food source. They don't demand much, yet they give back continuously. And once you see how easy it is to regrow something you would normally throw away, it changes the way you think about food and waste completely. Plant number 2, lettuce. Lettuce is another excellent choice for indoor growing because of how quickly it matures and how easy it is to manage. Unlike many vegetables that take months to produce, lettuce can be harvested in a matter of weeks, especially if you're growing loose-leaf varieties. This makes it perfect for anyone looking for quick results without long waiting periods. One of the biggest advantages of lettuce is its ability to grow in small containers. You don't need deep pots or a lot of soil. Just a shallow container with good drainage is enough. This makes it ideal for limited spaces like kitchen counters, shelves, or windowsills. Even if you don't have a dedicated gardening area, lettuce can fit into your daily living space without causing inconvenience. Lettuce also adapts well to indoor conditions because it doesn't require intense sunlight. Moderate light is usually enough, and with consistent watering, it continues to produce fresh leaves. Instead of harvesting the entire plant at once, you can pick the outer leaves and allow the center to keep growing, giving you multiple harvests from a single plant. Over time, growing lettuce indoors gives you a reliable source of fresh, clean greens without depending on store availability. It also allows you to control how it's grown, which can be important if you're trying to avoid chemicals or maintain a certain level of quality in your food. And when something is both easy to grow and consistently useful, it becomes part of your routine rather than a one-time experiment. Plant number 3, spinach. Spinach is a powerful addition to any indoor garden, especially because of its nutritional value. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support overall health, making it one of the most beneficial greens you can grow at home. Instead of buying small quantities repeatedly, growing spinach indoors allows you to have a steady supply whenever you need it. One of the reasons spinach works well indoors is its ability to grow in cooler, controlled environments. It doesn't require intense heat or direct sunlight, which makes it suitable for indoor conditions where temperatures are more stable. As long as it receives consistent light and water, spinach can thrive without much difficulty. This makes it a practical option for beginners who are still learning how to manage plant care. Spinach also grows relatively quickly, and like lettuce, it can be harvested gradually. You can pick the outer leaves while allowing the rest of the plant to continue growing, extending your harvest period. This method not only increases yield, but also ensures that you always have fresh leaves available without needing to replant constantly. Over time, spinach becomes a reliable part of your indoor setup, providing both nutrition and convenience. It's one of those plants that doesn't demand much attention, but delivers consistent value. And when you combine ease of growth with high nutritional benefit, it becomes clear why spinach is such a strong choice for indoor gardening. Plant number 4, radishes. Radishes are one of the fastest growing vegetables you can plant indoors, and that speed is what makes them so satisfying, especially for beginners. Unlike many root crops that take a long time to mature, radishes can be ready for harvest in as little as 3 to 4 weeks. This quick turnaround gives you visible results almost immediately, which is important when you're trying to stay motivated with indoor gardening. What makes radishes particularly suitable for indoor growing is their compact size. They don't require deep soil or large containers, so you can grow them in relatively small pots or trays without taking up much space. This makes them ideal for apartments or limited indoor setups where maximizing space is important. Even a small corner can be enough to produce a decent batch. Radishes also don't demand intense lighting compared to fruiting plants. As long as they receive consistent light and proper watering, they can develop properly without becoming stressed. This makes them more forgiving if your indoor conditions aren't perfect. Instead of struggling to meet high requirements, you're working with a plant that adapts easily to your environment. Over time, radishes give you something many indoor crops don't: variety. They add a different texture and flavor to your harvest, making your indoor garden more than just leafy greens. And when you can grow a root vegetable quickly and easily inside your home, it expands what you believe is possible with indoor gardening. Plant number 5, peppers. Peppers are one of the few fruiting vegetables that adapt surprisingly well to indoor environments, especially smaller varieties like chili peppers or dwarf bell peppers. While they may take longer to mature than leafy greens, the reward is much greater because they continue producing over time. Instead of a one-time harvest, peppers can give you multiple yields from the same plant when properly cared for. One of the key things about growing peppers indoors is light. They do require more light than crops like lettuce or spinach, so placing them near a bright window or using a simple grow light can make a big difference. Once that need is met, peppers become relatively low maintenance and can thrive in containers without requiring constant attention. Another advantage of peppers is their vertical growth. They don't spread out too much, which means they can fit into tight indoor spaces without becoming overwhelming. This makes them suitable for windowsills, balconies, or small indoor gardening setups where space is limited but productivity is still important. Over time, peppers become one of the most rewarding plants in your indoor garden because of their continuous production. They require a bit more patience at the beginning, but once they start producing, they provide consistent value. And when you're able to grow your own fresh peppers indoors, it adds a level of independence and convenience that store-bought options simply can't match. Plant number 6, carrots. Carrots might not be the first vegetable people think of when it comes to indoor gardening, but with the right setup, they can grow surprisingly well. The key is choosing shorter or baby carrot varieties, which are better suited for containers and don't require as much depth as traditional carrots. This makes them more practical for indoor environments where space is limited. Growing carrots indoors requires a bit more attention to soil depth and quality, but once those conditions are met, they are relatively straightforward to manage. A deep enough container filled with loose, well-draining soil allows the roots to develop properly without becoming deformed. This is important because the quality of the soil directly affects the shape and size of the carrots. Carrots also benefit from consistent watering and moderate light. They don't require extreme conditions, but they do need stability. As long as you maintain a steady routine, they will grow at a predictable pace. This makes them a good option for gardeners who are ready to move beyond the easiest crops and try something slightly more involved. Over time, growing carrots indoors changes your perspective on what root crops are possible in small spaces. It proves that you're not limited to just leafy greens. You can produce a wider range of vegetables with the right approach. And when you start harvesting your own carrots from inside your home, it reinforces the idea that indoor gardening can be both practical and diverse. Plant 7. Herbs. Herbs are one of the most practical and rewarding things you can grow indoors, especially because they provide continuous harvests without needing to be replanted often. Plants like basil, mint, parsley, and cilantro grow well in containers and can be trimmed regularly while continuing to produce new leaves. This means once you start growing them, you have a steady supply of fresh flavor for your meals without constantly buying more. What makes herbs particularly valuable is how little space they require. You can grow several different types in small pots on a windowsill, a shelf, or even a kitchen counter. This makes them perfect for indoor environments where space is limited but productivity still matters. Instead of dedicating large areas to a single crop, you can grow multiple herbs in a compact setup and still get consistent results. Herbs also adapt well to indoor conditions because most of them don't require extreme lighting or complex care routines. As long as they receive moderate sunlight and regular watering, they continue to grow steadily. This makes them ideal for beginners who want something reliable, as well as experienced growers who want a low-maintenance addition to their setup. Over time, herbs become more than just an addition to your indoor garden. They become a daily resource. You're not just growing plants. You're creating a system where fresh ingredients are always within reach. And when something is that easy to maintain and consistently useful, it naturally becomes a permanent part of your lifestyle rather than something you try once and forget. When you look at these 7 vegetables, one thing becomes clear. You don't need a garden to grow your own food. All you need is a small space, a simple setup, and the right plants. Indoor gardening isn't about doing more, it's about doing things smarter. Once you start, you realize how much food you can actually grow right where you live. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Primal Gardening for more simple, practical ways to grow your own food anywhere.